All right, so have you ever, like, stood in your kitchen just staring at that bottle of vegetable oil? You're like, what is the deal with this stuff? Well, you're not alone. That's what we're diving deep into today. Seed oils, exploring the good, the bad, and even some biohacking alternatives.
Oh, very cool.
To, like, really level up your health game.
I like it.
You've got, like, research articles, insights into how these oils are made.
Okay.
And even a peek into the world of supplements. So get ready for some aha moments.
All right.
Because this is about to get really interesting.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating. You know how these oils like soybean or canola are everywhere?
Yeah.
But there's just so much debate swirling around them.
Yeah, they're affordable. They're versatile.
Yeah.
Practically a kitchen staple.
For sure.
But are they really the best choice?
Right.
So let's start with the basics. Seed oils, as the name suggests, are extracted from seeds.
Oh, right.
Like sunflowers, soybeans, canola. They're packed with omega-6 fatty acids.
Yes. Which, don't get me wrong, are essential for our bodies.
Absolutely.
But like most things in life.
Yeah.
It's all about balance.
Exactly. Omega-6 fatty acids are super necessary.
Right.
But the problem kind of arises when they overshadow omega-3s.
Okay.
You know, historically, we humans consume these fats in a ratio closer to 1 to 1.
Okay.
Now, with seed oils kind of dominating the Western diet, that ratio can skew as high as 20 to 1 in favor of omega-6.
Wow.
Huge swing.
It's a lot.
Yeah, and it can have some pretty serious consequences.
Okay, so what happens when we tip the scales too far
Okay.
in favor of omega-6?
Good question. So think of it like this. Too much omega-6.
Okay.
Without enough omega-3 to counterbalance.
Right.
It can create a pro-inflammatory environment in the body.
So it's not just like weight gain or
No, not at all. It's much bigger than that.
Okay.
Studies have linked this imbalance to an increased risk of cardiovascular diseases.
Oh, wow.
Including heart disease and stroke.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stop there.
Yeah.
It can also mess with your metabolic health.
Yeah.
Potentially leading to insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes.
Wow.
We're even seeing elevated levels of C-reactive protein,
Oh, okay.
which is a key marker of inflammation in people with a high omega-6 to omega-3 ratio.
So it's a pretty complex web, but the bottom line is that balance is crucial.
Yeah, for sure. That balance is key.
So to put it simply, we want to aim for that sweet spot of a 4 to 1 ratio of omega-6 to omega-3.
Exactly.
You can even click the link in the show notes to learn more about this ratio in common seed oils.
Oh, that's awesome.
But hold on, there's more to the story.
Right? Yeah.
It's not just about the fats themselves. It's also about how these oils are processed.
Absolutely. The journey from seed to bottle is quite a process, and some of those steps along the way can raise some red flags.
Let's break it down. What exactly happens during seed oil processing?
Yeah. That might be a cause for concern.
Okay, so picture this. The seeds are harvested.
Okay.
They're cleaned, and then they're crushed to extract the oil.
Right.
Seems simple enough.
Yeah.
Right?
Seems pretty straightforward.
But this raw oil often goes through a series of refining processes to improve its quality, its shelf life, and just make it more appealing to consumers.
So what's wrong with refining? Isn't that supposed to make the oil better?
Well, the intention is good.
Right.
But some of these refining processes involve high heat and chemical solvents.
Oh.
Like hexane.
Interesting.
While regulations aim to minimize any residual solvents in the final product, you know, the use of these methods can still be a concern.
Right.
What's more is these processes can actually damage the oil's nutritional value.
Oh, really?
Stripping away beneficial compounds.
Wow.
And potentially creating harmful byproducts.
See, that's what gets me high heat chemicals.
Yeah.
It just doesn't sound like a recipe for healthy cooking.
You've got a point there.
Yeah.
It's all about making informed choices.
Right.
Now, while seed oils have their downsides, there's a whole world of alternatives out there.
Okay, good.
That are not only healthier,
but
can also add a burst of flavor to your dishes.
Okay, that's what I like to hear. So spill the beans.
All right.
What are some of these amazing alternatives?
Okay, well, one that comes to mind is extra virgin olive oil.
Yes.
A cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet.
Love it.
It's rich in monounsaturated fats. And antioxidants, making it a heart-healthy choice for both drizzling and low to medium heat cooking.
I'm a huge fan of olive oil.
Yeah.
It's like liquid gold.
It is.
Perfect for salads, pasta, even dipping bread.
Absolutely. And if you need an oil that can withstand higher temperatures, coconut oil is an excellent choice.
Okay.
It's stable at high heat, thanks to its saturated fat content, and boasts MCTs. Those medium-chain triglycerides believed to offer various health benefits.
And let's not forget the delicious aroma and subtle sweetness it brings to baking.
Exactly. Another fantastic option is avocado oil.
Okay.
It has a high smoke point, making it versatile for a wide range of cooking methods. And its neutral flavor won't overpower your dishes.
Nice.
It's also packed with vitamin E, which is a bonus.
Okay, so we've got some awesome plant-based oils covered.
Yes.
But what about those who enjoy animal fats?
Right.
Are there any healthy options in that category?
Absolutely. Don't dismiss those traditional animal fats.
Okay.
Like grass-fed, butter, tallow, and lard.
Interesting.
They've been used for centuries.
Right.
And are making a comeback for a reason.
I've noticed that.
They're nutrient-dense and can add a richness and depth of flavor that you just can't get from plant-based oils.
Yeah, I've noticed that people are rediscovering their culinary value.
For sure.
And even touting their potential health benefits.
Absolutely.
It's all about choosing the right fat for the right cooking method.
Exactly.
Considering factors like smoke point and flavor.
Yep.
Speaking of taking control of your health, let's talk biohacking.
Ooh.
It's all the rage these days.
It is biohacking. It's about using various tools and techniques to optimize your biology for better health and performance.
Exactly. And guess what?
What?
There are some fascinating biohacking approaches
that
could help counteract some of the potential downsides of seed oils.
Really?
We've been discussing targeted supplements and lifestyle tweaks.
Interesting.
That can bring those omega ratios back into balance and combat inflammation.
That's right. For example, supplementing with high-quality omega-3s from fish oil or algae oil can help restore that crucial balance, and certain lifestyle practices like intermittent fasting or incorporating more anti-inflammatory foods into your diet can also work wonders.
So it's all about taking a proactive approach
to
your health and well-being.
Absolutely.
And biohacking offers some powerful tools to do just that.
I agree.
You can even click the link in the show notes to learn more about biohacking.
Awesome.
But before we get too deep into that rabbit hole,
let's
take a closer look at the environmental impact of seed oil production.
Okay, sounds good.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
So far, we've uncovered how those unassuming seed oils in your pantry might be messing with your omega balance.
Yeah.
And why choosing the right cooking fats is so crucial.
For sure.
But there's another layer to this story.
Yeah.
We can't ignore the environmental impact.
Absolutely. The impact of our food choices goes way beyond our plates. You know, we have to consider the planet too. And when it comes to seed oils, there's some serious environmental concerns.
Okay, so let's get into it. What are some of the main issues surrounding seed oil production?
Well, for starters, the demand for seed oils is huge.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Which means we need a lot of land to grow those soybeans, sunflowers, and canola. And guess what? That often translates to deforestation and habitat loss.
Oh, wow.
Forests are cleared to make way for vast monoculture plantations.
Okay.
And that's a big problem for biodiversity.
Hold on, monoculture. Break that down for us. What does that even mean?
So monoculture just means growing a single crop on a massive scale year after year.
Okay.
While it might seem efficient, it's actually a recipe for soil depletion.
Oh, wow.
The soil loses its nutrients, making it vulnerable to erosion and degradation. Imagine squeezing all the juice out of a lemon and expecting it to keep producing without giving it any nourishment.
Okay.
That's essentially what monoculture does to the land.
Wow, that's a powerful analogy.
Yeah.
And to make matters worse, I bet these monoculture plantations rely heavily on pesticides and herbicides.
You bet they use those chemicals to protect the crops from pests and weeds. But they also end up contaminating the soil and water sources, harming wildlife.
Of course.
And potentially even impacting human health.
Right.
Down the line, it's a vicious cycle.
Okay, so we've got deforestation, soil depletion, chemical contamination. It's starting to paint a pretty bleak picture.
Yeah.
Is there any hope? Are there any sustainable practices being implemented in the industry?
There's always hope.
Okay, good.
Thankfully, there's a growing movement towards more sustainable and environmentally friendly practices in seed oil production.
Okay.
Some farmers are adopting crop rotation techniques,
Okay.
alternating different crops to give the soil a chance to recover and replenish its nutrients. It's like giving the land a much-needed break.
Crop rotation I've heard of. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Switch things up.
Yeah.
Give the soil a breather.
Yeah.
What else? Are there any other practices that are helping to turn things around?
Definitely cover cropping is another great technique.
Okay.
It involves planting non-cash crops between harvest cycles, creating a natural blanket that protects the soil from erosion
Okay.
and improves its fertility.
Nice.
Plus, these cover crops can actually help sequester carbon.
Wow.
Which is a win for combating climate change.
So it's like a win-win-win, better soil, health, less erosion, and we're even helping the environment.
Exactly.
That's encouraging. Are there any innovations on the processing side of things?
Absolutely. There are some companies making strides in reducing their environmental footprint
Okay.
by implementing solvent recycling programs and adopting energy-efficient extraction methods.
Wow.
It's all about minimizing waste and maximizing efficiency.
That's fantastic. It sounds like there's a real shift happening, a recognition that we need to do better for the planet. But what about us, the everyday consumers? What can we do to support a more sustainable seed oil industry?
Well, for starters, we can be more conscious consumers.
Okay.
Read those labels carefully. And choose brands that prioritize sustainable practices, like organic certification or fair trade sourcing.
Okay.
Those certifications tell you that the company is taking steps to minimize their environmental impact and promote fair labor practices.
So it's about voting with our dollars.
Exactly.
Supporting the companies that are doing things the right way.
Yes.
I like that. What else can we do to make a difference?
Another simple yet powerful step is to reduce our overall consumption of processed foods, which often rely heavily on seed oils. By cooking more meals at home, using those healthy and sustainable alternatives we discussed earlier, you're not only benefiting your health, but also reducing your environmental impact.
That's a great point. Cooking at home gives us so much more control over the ingredients.
Yeah.
And allows us to be more intentional about the food we're putting into our bodies.
For sure.
And the impact it's having on the planet.
Yeah.
What other tips do you have for navigating the world of seed oils in a more sustainable way?
If you do choose to use seed oils, opt for those that have undergone less processing, like cold-pressed or expeller-pressed varieties.
Interesting.
These methods retain more of the oil's natural nutrients and flavor, while minimizing the use of chemicals and energy.
So it's all about being informed.
Yes.
And making conscious choices.
Exactly.
Yeah, it can feel overwhelming at times.
It can.
But knowing that we have the power to make a difference, both for our own health and for the planet, is truly empowering.
Absolutely. It's not about being perfect. It's about taking those small steps. One at a time, those small changes can create a ripple effect. And lead to a more sustainable and health-conscious future.
I love that small steps, big impact.
Exactly.
It's a reminder that we all have a role to play.
Yes.
In creating a healthier and more sustainable world. This has been an eye-opening deep dive.
It has.
Into the world of seed oils, exploring everything from the science and health implications to the environmental impact and those exciting biohacking possibilities.
It's been a fascinating journey, and we're not done yet. We'll be right back to wrap up this episode with some key takeaways and leave you with some thought-provoking questions to ponder on your own health journey.
Right, welcome back to the final part of our seed oil saga. This deep dive has been a whirlwind of information.
It has.
From omega ratios and processing methods to sustainable farming and even a peek into the world of biohacking.
Yeah, it's amazing how one seemingly simple ingredient can spark such a complex conversation, highlighting that interconnectedness of our health, our food choices, and the well-being of our planet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, let's distill all this knowledge into some key takeaways you can actually use.
Yeah.
First up, remember that seed oils are everywhere in the modern Western diet.
Right.
But that high omega-6 content, the way they're processed, have raised some valid concerns about potential health impacts.
The takeaway here isn't to demonize seed oils entirely, but rather to understand the importance of balance. We need both omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids.
Well, sure.
But the modern diet often tips the scales way too far in favor of omega-6.
Right. And as we discussed, that imbalance can contribute to inflammation in the body, which can increase the risk of chronic diseases like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and a whole host of other issues.
It's a lot.
So what can we do?
Well, one powerful step is to explore those healthy and delicious alternatives we talked about. Remember extra virgin olive oil?
Yes.
Coconut oil, avocado oil?
Yeah.
And even those traditional animal fats like grass-fed butter and tallow, there's a whole world of flavor and nutrition out there just waiting to be discovered.
And for those who want to go a step further, remember those biohacking tools we discussed.
Yeah.
Supplementing with high-quality omega-3s.
Right.
From fish oil or algae oil.
Exactly.
Can help restore that crucial balance.
Yep.
And certain lifestyle practices like intermittent fasting or incorporating more anti-inflammatory foods can work wonders too.
It's all about taking a proactive approach to your health and well-being.
Right.
And biohacking can offer some amazing tools to do just that.
Speaking of taking action, we can't forget about the environmental side of things. Remember those concerns about deforestation, monoculture farming, chemical use, and water consumption.
It's a lot to think about.
They're real, and we need to be mindful of them.
Absolutely. But the good news is there's hope. Sustainable practices like crop rotation, cover cropping, and innovative processing methods are gaining traction.
That's good.
And as consumers, we have the power to support those efforts by choosing brands that prioritize sustainability and reducing our overall consumption of processed foods.
So what's the ultimate takeaway from all of this? I think it comes down to this knowledge is power. The more we understand about the food we eat, where it comes from, and how it impacts our bodies and the planet, the better equipped we are to make choices that align with our values and our health goals. You can even click the links in the show notes to learn more about seed oils and biohacking.
Couldn't agree more. It's about being curious, asking questions, and embracing that journey of continuous learning. After all, the world of food and nutrition is constantly evolving.
Exactly. So keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep those minds and bodies thriving.
And remember, even small changes can make a big difference. So what small change will you make today to improve your health journey? Maybe try incorporating a new cooking oil into your kitchen, or do a little research on a biohacking technique that piques your interest. It's those little steps that can lead to lasting transformation.
That's a perfect note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive adventure.
It's been fun.
We'll catch you next time.